And then as boss calls for it, they'll shift right into this diamond while climbing. They'll turn on their smoke, and then they'll break out, make a little kind of smoke trails behind them.
How difficult was that, watching that slot pilot slide back in there? I think because you're feeling now the wash from 3 jets in front of you, aren't you?
You are, absolutely, and it's all done with a lot of rudder control versus stick, because you don't want to have the wings moving back and forth. So it's something they got to practice a lot. As they come back down, they're going to join back up in front of the crowd there over the island and exit, because their next maneuver is coming from that direction. The solos are coming for the vertical pitch. They're going to cross over center point and pull back on the stick as hard as they can. 7.5 Gs straight up.
That's like when we had a chance to fly the unrestricted climb out of Boeing Field.
Yeah, absolutely, it's unrestricted climb.
That's the one where the curtain starts to close on you a little bit.
It can, definitely. You gotta do that hick maneuver and get the blood back in your head. They've rolled on their back, and now they're gonna come back down again, max performance, as they descend at the bottom half of that loop, and then they're going to cross back over center point. All of this targeting about 100 feet as they come back down.
You know, we've talked so much about the pilots, and you all are spectacular, but these aircraft are really something, aren't they, to be able to do what they do?
Yes, they are. The F-18 is, these aircraft, the Blue Angels flight in particular, are the oldest F-18s that we have in the Navy.
By the way, we have a Twitter here, and I'll pass this on to you from Bobby. Is there more than one team of Blue Angels?
No, the Navy has one demonstration team, which is the Blue Angels, and we represent the Navy and Marine Corps. The Air Force has the Thunderbirds, you've probably heard of them, and then the Army has the Golden Knights, which is a parachute jumping team. It's a good question, though, because you probably see a lot of Blue Angels out there. We have 120 of us. We only travel with about 60. So we have half of our team is at home, and they will swap out as we go on. Every weekend there's a show for 35 weeks in a row.
It gets a little difficult.
It's busy.
Busy. This maneuver we're watching here,
this is the barrel roll break. The diamond is come from in front of the crowd, arced around, and they're going to come back over center point. They're in a descent, and as soon as they get at center point, they're going to all break in a separate direction.
Vary your shows depending on your locale?
We do just a little bit. The beginning being that this is over the water, we can't demonstrate our takeoff maneuvers. So coming the way that they did from in front of the crowd, that's something that's remote specific, where when we are at an airfield, we just start right into it with the takeoff maneuvers. This is the solo pilots coming in from the right, this section high alpha pass. They're pulling their aircraft slowly, getting rid of their airspeed and pulling their nose up, up, up as far as they can. And looks like they're standing it right on their tail.
It's amazing to see an aircraft this powerful that goes this fast going that slow and still flying.
Yeah, they're going about 110 knots. And you'll see, even with it going that slow and that low, after they cross center point, they're going to climb almost straight up just by adding power.
And I have asked every person who's been sitting in your seat, and I think I've been doing this now for 10 or 15 years, everything that we see these pilots do out here, there is a reason for it in the purposes of defending this country.
Absolutely. In all my years of flying, every one of these maneuvers that you see in some way, shape, or form, you will do in an air-to-ground flight, in a bombing flight, in an air-to-air, BFM flight. They're all, each pilot in the fleet, if they were to come to the Blue Angels, none of these maneuvers would be new to them. Doing them this close and this low would be new, but they all have the capabilities. As the low break cross, as the pilots all separate, they're going to go out on 30-degree lines. 2 of them on the show line, and then 2 of them 30 degrees, kind of northeast and southeast there. and then they'll turn around and come back in and cross over center point, all of them pointing straight at each other.
Pointing, but not flying at each other.
There's
a little bit of a difference.
A little bit of altitude delta to keep them safe.
Yes. This is one of the crowd's favorite when they see these 4 jets again converging on center point.
Exactly.
Here they come. Count them as they cross.
All 4 of them. They all pass by each other. You can see without the low wind today, the smoke is kind of lingering on the show line.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see them turn their smokes off just to get clear so they can all see each other better.
I was going to say, could that cause a problem since you do so much visual?
It could. If they haven't turned their smoke off yet, so I think it might look worse from our vantage point than it is from theirs.
That's going to catch up, right? That's
someone. Yeah, someone definitely pulling some max G's there to try and make sure they get in formation. The next maneuver is the solos as they do the tuck over roll, and this one they're going to be coming from the right, and they're right next to each other, and they're both going to roll simultaneously at the same time. There they go.
How does the pecking order work? And pardon me for using that expression. I can't think of anything else to say.
Mm-hmm.
But from the solos up through the ranks all the way up to boss, can you be a solo and be the boss one day, or how does that work?
Oh, that's a great question. The boss is he's going to apply for the boss position, and he's someone who's already been a Navy commanding officer of a squadron. So boss was a squadron skipper out in Japan. And the other pilots, boss will stay boss for 2 years, and then he'll be done. The other pilots, number 2, will stay number 2 for 2 years as well. Number 3 will switch each year. After your number 3, you switch over to number 4, just for the experience. And then for the solo pilots, they'll never become diamond pilots, and diamond pilots won't go to solo pilots. In fact, Ben, the narrator that you've been hearing, he is number 7 this year. He flies the VIPs. He flies me around. He will become number 6 next year, and 6 will become 5. And so they have 3-year positions on the team. They're the only pilots that stay for 3 years.
So do you move into the 7 slot then?
I don't.
Oh.
I stay number 8 for 2 years.
Oh, we were so hoping that you'd be the one, Amy.
I love being the events coordinator, though.
Yeah.
So. So now you're going to see the 2 solo pilots are going to appear pretty soon here and join up with the diamond, and we're going to do what I was talking about a while ago with the delta formation. So all 6 jets are going to get together and put 5 maneuvers together for us for the delta.
You travel with a pretty good soundtrack too, the music.
We do. We have a whole music committee. Trust me, there's a lot that goes into the music picking.
Everybody has a choice in that?
Everybody has a vote, and everybody wants to insert their favorite song. I pretty much have them all memorized now.
I bet. 35 performances a year. You've heard them all.
I've heard them all, yes. So you see the 6 pilots. Those are the F-18 pilots. Ben's number 7. As the events coordinator, I wanted to tell you that, M1, 2, and 3 of them are the C-130 pilots that we talked about. They're flying Fat Albert. And then we have 5 other support officers that we couldn't do it without. And one of them is a doctor, flight surgeon, takes care of everybody while we're on the road. She also grades the demonstration. She's out on a boat out there and actually tells the pilots how they do. We have a maintenance officer, a supply officer, and an administration officer. And they all have jobs. You can see them over there doing their jobs during the demo as well. This is the delta roll. All 6 aircraft rolling 360 degrees around boss. Boss is up there in the lead. You can still see the diamond is in the same formation there, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5 and 6